Oops, I think it started now. Hello, and welcome to Coping with Donald. I'm Phil. It is the last day of January 2026. Yesterday, we had a dumping of Epstein documents, uh, which, of course, focused on people are focusing on what was on Donald Trump. There's a report about a page that appeared that looked very bad for him, and so then the Department of Justice took it back off. But some people had alertly copied it and put it on their own sites. So the Department of Justice said, all right, we'll put it back on. So we can imagine what's in the 3 million documents, roughly half of the Epstein files, that they're still holding on to. They say it's just redundancy and things that aren't important at all. That might be true, or it might be the ones that they really don't want to release. Um, Melania looked bad on the day of her movie preview, which had really there were theaters with two people in them, no people in them. There was a report that some somebody on Craigslist advertised, "I'll give you $50 and free tickets to go see Melania, but you have to sit there until the end, so it counts as somebody who watched the documentary." So, in addition to all that, they uncovered an email when she said she really didn't know Ghislaine Maxwell so well in the 90s. And there was an email from 2002, I believe, with her saying, "Hi, G. I can't wait to see you in Palm Beach. Call me. Call me." All right. So, you know, not that people in the Trump circle lying surprises anybody anymore, but it is what it is. So she didn't have a good weekend at all. And of course, Trump didn't. But I want to point out somebody who had probably a worse weekend, despite the fact that he is dead. Does anybody remember Robin Leach from the 1990s or maybe even late 1980s with his Lifestyle of the Rich and Famous show, which I would refuse to watch because all it was a film crew following some rich or influential or just rich person, and you get to look at their house and their 200 seat theater within their house and the swimming pool within the house, the Olympic swimming pool, and just the entertainment room and the audio room and the this room and the that room and 20,000 square foot houses, which nowadays are the houses that you see on the internet saying, yeah, it was $25 million back in 2000, but now it's abandoned and all that kind of stuff because no one wants to really do the upkeep on a 20,000 square foot house. But Robin Leach hosted or was the voice of the show Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous. And he had I'm going to guess a British accent, but I'm not good on accents. It could have been British, it could have been Canadian. I'm really not good on accents. But um, he had this overpowering voice. It sounded like he was sort of like choking on marshmallows at the same time, okay? And he would always say, "On the next Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous," you know. Well, Robin Leach was in the Epstein files, okay? And not only, remember, everything in the Epstein files, a lot of it was not corroborated, okay? Some of it was not followed up on. But they actually have a line in which someone reported Robin Leach at one of those parties. Boy, this guy knows how to throw a party, huh? Strangling a young girl to death, which doesn't happen in the space of 1 or 2 seconds. This is something that's thought out that you want to do, and probably, unless they were in a room alone, somebody could have stopped him from doing. He was not a young man, he was not a fit man, okay, at all. He was kind of just rotund as I remember him. I don't go looking up pictures of Robin Leach on the internet, okay? Why didn't someone stop him? He was probably in a different room with this young woman. And that's a bad look, okay? I mean, wow. And then, like, I'm sure people would know about it. in the Epstein parties, and they still go to future Epstein parties. There's also plenty of conversations with Elon Musk and Donald Trump, and they're talking about the party coming up in like 2003 or something like that, which is after Trump said he didn't talk with them anymore, I believe. Or was that maybe 2012? But he was still communicating with Epstein long after he said he didn't talk to him anymore. And another person who was going to his parties long after he said he wasn't talking to him anymore is one of the most despicable figures in the United States right now, Howard Lutnick, the Secretary of Commerce, who's always smiling and laughing as he counts his upcoming billions compared to the poverty of what many of us are facing here in the United States. But actually, this is all less of a disturbing story compared to what we see coming out of Minnesota, compared to the fact that the president is not only has he sued all the media into submission, but now he's suing the government of the United States for investigating him over certain things. Now, the United States, is not going to be able to get Pam Bondi to defend them. All right? I believe specifically the IRS for investigations that were allowed, and information concerning Russia, and even the fact that he was raided so that the secret documents that were in his bathroom in Mar-a-Lago could be taken back to the federal government. He's suing over those kind of things. He's suing you. He's suing you. He's suing me. He's suing the guy next to you. Does that sound like a person who's interested in the United States? I mean, you don't hear the phrase drain the swamp coming out of him anymore, do you? There is more thievery going on in the government of the United States, corruption, than at any time in our history. Donald Trump is a man who would say anything that he thought you wanted to hear. Anything that he thought you wanted to hear. And then go in a different course when he got elected. And the sad thing is, the people that didn't vote for him, we knew that. We knew it before the election. We knew it even before his Madison Square Garden week, or moment, 1 week before the election. We knew it from his first 4 years. I knew it from listening to that creep in the 1980s and 1990s. He is a totally dishonest person who exists to steal from you. You. Okay? I heard somebody say something this week that stuck with me. That is alarming. And I'm going to repeat it. If you're waiting for the gas chambers to pop up, it'll be too late to do anything by then. You can't wait for the gas chambers. By that time, they would have full control or they wouldn't do it. The time to stop them is now. I don't even know if we can wait 10 months for the election, which frightens me. He's trying, of course, to do anything to fix it, but I think he's so unpopular. So many people see through him now that he's only got his hardcore base, which is somewhere between 30 and 37%, I would suppose. Probably closer to 37. But we don't know how many people would abandon him. Only seems like about 20% of independents are still sticking with him. That's it. And I would safely say that the people who don't believe in him are really motivated to vote. I am of the opinion that if somehow he does steal the election, which would be amazing because that means they gained seats in Congress, I would think that the people of the United States will not wait to see what happens in the future. I think that they realize that their backs are up against the wall. And like with a firing squad, you can either just stand there and get shot, or you can fight back. And I think we will see not an insurrection, a revolution within the United States. I do believe that ICE is a group that once they see a revolution in the street that actually is going to play on the same terms that they do, that most of them will flee or quit. And then we'll probably pick another crummy leader. Probably one that lies better than Trump. Probably ones that do things that are more discreet than Trump. But it won't be the cast of characters we know now. It won't be people like Kristi Noem. It won't be people like Marco Rubio. This week, just the other day, Trump declared that fentanyl is a weapon of mass destruction. Okay. And that there is a state of immunity, a state of emergency regarding Cuba. And he'll put up these state of emergencies. He'll just make something up. Okay, let's say we used the drug one on Venezuela. So we'll say that Cuba is funding Hamas, which is what he did, I believe. And then the next one might be Canada. And he'll say, we found out that people in Canada are putting poison into products that they ship to the United States. He'll make anything up to justify what he wants to do. The world knows it. You know it deep down. And it's time to prepare. And I will have to say that whatever happens, we're going to have a bad time economically. That's going to be in the future no matter what happens. And we're going to have to sacrifice, in many cases, what we worked our whole lives to build up in order to have a just America and a decent and lawful America for our children and grandchildren. That will be the sacrifice that many of us will have to make. And to Robin Leach, what a lifestyle, huh? What a lifestyle. Robin Leach, rotten hell. This has been Coping with Donald. I'm Phil. Have a good weekend.